Hi everyone, it's time for the van tour. So this build took me just over a year. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever done, and I'll make a full video explaining everything that went wrong and spilling that tea later. But it was also one of the most rewarding things. My friend's husband helped me install the upper cabinets. My mom sewed my bench cushions and my curtains, and other than that, I did everything on my own with very little previous experience. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to show you guys inside. So let's get started. This conversion is built inside a 2019 high-roof 2500 RAM Promaster with a 136-inch wheel bed. This combo is ideal for me because the shorter wheelbase makes it easier to drive and more fuel efficient than the longer models. The 2500 model maintains the power of a heavy-duty truck, which is important when considering the weight of a van conversion. I also added the BFG All-Terrain KO2 tires and a 3-inch lift kit so I can go on rough forest service roads. Being a solo female traveler, safety is my first priority. This sliding door that divides the cab from the living area makes it impossible to see inside from the front, and from the back it makes it feel even more like a home and less like a vehicle. Coming into the main part of the living area, this van has an open layout with a fixed bed and a bench seat that doubles as a dining area and office. I went for a very clean and minimal design because this space is so compact. I wanted to make it appear as open as possible. To achieve this, I covered all the walls and ceiling in microcement and then used lime wash paint to give it the perfect neutral coloring. The process was extremely tedious and time consuming, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. I especially love the added texture. The microcement is extremely durable, so I don't have to worry about any cracking. It also is water resistant and super easy to clean. I think it actually might be my favorite part of the entire van. These dark luxury vinyl hexagon tiles run along the entire length of the kitchen unit. They're made to resemble real marble, and I love the contrast they add to the beige monotone aesthetic. I made this faux quartz countertop out of epoxy and plywood. It contains real mica flakes to give it dimension and match the neutral coloring of the walls. This table pulls out from the bed and matches the kitchen counter. It gives me even more surface area as it serves as an extension to my kitchen. It's also my dining room table and my office where I work remotely from the road. And beneath the table is my 65-liter Dometic fridge with a freezer compartment. It may seem small, but it is just me living in this van, so I don't need a whole lot of room. And next to my fridge is another cabinet where I store all my shoes. I got these awesome little shelves on Amazon. I really wanted to maximize my counter space, so I decided against having a fixed cooktop. Instead, I use this Coleman single burner stove. It runs on butane, so it doesn't use any power. I also love that I can use it both outside or indoors. When I'm cooking inside, I just turn on my max air fan and open my side window for ventilation. And I installed a carbon monoxide detector just in case. For my sink, I chose an extra deep black stainless steel basin and a matching faucet with an extendable hose. Beneath the counter, there are a total of 6 drawers of varying sizes for plenty of storage, complete with matte black hardware to match the sink. Every drawer also has a locking mechanism so they won't open while I'm driving. To the left of the drawers is the plumbing cabinet. Instead of a large water tank, I opted to use smaller 5-gallon tanks. I felt this was more versatile and easy to fill. Instead of having to look for a fill station, I can easily refill these at any grocery store with a water refill station or at campground water pumps. I keep 2 more water jugs in the garage of the van so I can have up to 15 gallons of water at a time. Running along one entire length of the ceiling are 3 large upper cabinets where I store most of my clothes. Like the drawers, these also have locks on them to keep them from opening while the van is moving. When I'm not using this bench to lounge or work remotely, I just remove the cushions and open the lid to access my composting toilet. This toilet is from Trolino, and I love how compact and minimal it is. I'd seen other van builds with beds that convert into sitting areas and things, but honestly, that just seemed like a lot of work. I didn't want to set up and take down something every morning and night, which is why I opted for a fixed bed, and I couldn't be happier. It fits a full-size 6-inch memory foam mattress with a 2-inch gel topper, making it 8 inches total of pure bliss. These half-moon indented wall boxes add 3 inches of space to each side, making the total length of the sleeping area 6'3", which is more than enough for me and Kaya. I also added this little bedside light for nighttime reading or scrolling. The rest of the van is lit by LED strips located above and below the overhead cabinets as well as behind the molding. Directly above the bed is a skylight, which is one of my favorite features of this whole van. It lets in a ton of natural light, and I love being able to look at the stars before falling asleep. I also added 2 more windows to the back doors for even more light and ventilation. Even with all these windows open, it sometimes isn't enough to cool the van down for my dog. She's a husky mix and gets hot really easily, so I decided to install the Dometic RTX 2000 air conditioner for her. It's fully self-contained, runs on 12 volt, and is extremely efficient, consuming only 19 amps when in eco mode. In the back of my van, I have even more storage. On the right side is where I keep all my water and my paddleboard. In the middle, I have 2 large drawers for all of my hiking and climbing gear. And on the left is my electrical system. To access the system, I just remove both the drawers and slide out this removable panel. The electrical system was definitely the most complex part of my build, and probably the hardest for me because I'm not an electrician and I had no idea what I was doing when I started. So I'm going to do an entirely separate video to go over everything in depth, but for now I'll just give you guys a quick run through. So I have a total of 500 amp hours of lithium ion batteries from Renogy. These batteries recharge off the alternator of the van as I'm driving with the Renogy MPPT battery-to-battery charger. They can also be plugged into shore power using this Victron 30 amp smart charger. This Renogy 2000 watt pure sine inverter converts DC to AC power. It connects to 2 different outlets, one in the kitchen and one by the bed, that I use to power all of my normal household appliances like my laptop or my water kettle. I also have 4 USB charging ports connected to DC power located next to the sink and by the bed. I can conveniently monitor the whole system through an app on my phone. And that's the tour. Thanks for watching. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't film much of my build just because it was so hard learning everything for the first time on my own, let alone having to worry about setting up a camera and angles and filming and all of that. But I would be happy to go over and redo any tutorials. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, let me know, and I will remake a video explaining how I made something and the materials that I used. One video that I am though going to do for sure is the electrical system, because that was definitely the most intimidating part of the whole build. I'm not an electrician. I had absolutely no previous experience. And it was really stressful until I found this one hack that changed the entire game. So I'm going to share that with you, how I did it, and everything that went into my build. And my electrical system works amazing. I've never run out of power. I'm so proud of it now that it's actually done. And then I'll also do a total cost breakdown of the van. So how much everything cost me, all the materials I used. And spoiler alert, it was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So just be prepared for that. I think that kind of goes with any project that you're doing. You usually do go over budget. And I'm really excited. I just got my new Starlink Mini in the mail, so I'm going to do a quick unboxing video and setting that up and testing out. So that is what's coming up for the channel. Thanks again for watching today, and we will see you guys soon.